Sabda, sabda, verbal testimony, verbal knowledge, sound, word, scriptural authority. From the verb root sabd equals sound. It is one of the valid means of knowledge. See pramana. It is one of the five subtle essence of the elements. See tanmatra. According to nyaya, it is the testimony of a trustworthy person, one who knows the truth and communicates it correctly. According to advaita vedanta, the truth revealed by sabda is the fundamental unity of being. According to mamamsa, its purport lies in the injunctive texts of the ritual sections of the Vedas. According to nyaya vaisesika, sound is a quality perceived by the ear, belongs only to either, and is of two kinds, noise and alphabet. Inarticulate noise, dhvani, and articulate alphabetic sounds, varna. Mimamsa holds that varna is eternal, while nyaya maintains that every varna is produced by God. Generally, four stages of sound are distinguished: supreme sound, para, visible sounds, which can be heard as om, pasyanti; middle sound, which refers to a variety of basic sounds, tarka, that are very subtle, madhyama; and manifest sound, vichara, which is the gross level of sound and is what is heard in ordinary speech. Sabda bodha, verbal cognition; sabda jnana, verbal knowledge; sabda bodha, sabda jnana, verbal knowledge; sabda miti, verbal knowledge; sabda nyaya. Sabda nyaya is the standpoint of synonyms. According to Jainism, this standpoint refers to the significance of the synonymous words one encounters in any language. Despite differences of tense, case, etc., there exists a similarity of meaning. Kumbha and gata both refer to the same object, a jar. See nyaya. Sabda tanmatra. Sabda tanmatra. Subtle sound, a subtle amount of ether, subtle essence of the elemental sounds. Sabda tanmatra. Sabda varti, significative force. Sabdad yakharavada, sabdad yakharavara, sabdad ya haravada. Theory of supplying the elliptical word. Sabha, assembly, congregation, public audience. Sabija, with attributes. Sachidananda, Sachidananda, existence, knowledge, bliss, existence, absolute, consciousness, absolute, bliss, absolute. According to the theistic Vedanta schools and Saivite schools, they are the attributes of God, Brahman. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is the very essence of the absolute Brahman. Sadachara, morality, good behavior. One should work for one's livelihood, be righteous and help others. See Panchachara. Sadakya, the experience of being. According to vira, saivism, it is a name for the formless form. It is also called sadasiva. It comes into being when a siva tattva comes into contact with the five power SECTS: siva sadakya, amarta sadakya, kartur sadakya, and karma sadakya. Sadanga yoga, sixfold yoga. It is a type of yoga referred to in the Maitreya Upanishad. The six limbs are postures, breathing techniques, withdrawal of the senses from sense objects, concentration, meditation, union, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Sadanga yoga. Asad, vilaksana, sadilaksana. What is other than the real sat and the unreal asat? See anarvachanaya. Sadasat, real, common, real. Sadasiva, eternally happy or prosperous. See from sada equals eternally, ever. Siv equals auspicious. A name for Siva, the eternally auspicious one. In Kashmir saivism, it stands for the principle of the eternal Siva, corresponds to the power of will. Icha Sakti. Sadayatana, the six sense organs. From sad equals six, ayatana, organs. According to Buddhism, it is one of the links in the causal chain of existence. See pratitya samutpada, sabhava vikarta, the six changes applicable to a positive entity. These are origination, existence, growth, maturity, decline, and death. Sadarsana, the six orthodox Astika schools of Indian philosophy. They are Nyaya, Vaisesika, Sankhya, Yoga, Mimamsa, and Vedanta. Darsana, perception. Darsana. Sadguru, true teacher, perfect master, authentic teacher, realized, spiritual guide. From Sat equal true, real, Guru equal teacher. See Guru. Such a guru is one with God, one with the self, one with the absolute, one with the mantra. Sadguru. Sadhaka, one who practices spiritual disciplines from the verb root sad, to go straight to the goal, a spiritual aspirant. According to the Siva Samhita, there are four types. The soft practitioner, Mardu, who lacks zeal, is dull-witted, sickly, greedy, attached, etc., who doesn't carry out the Guru's commands, even when asked. The middling practitioner, Madhya, who is even-minded, patient, desirous of virtue, who carries out the Guru's commands when asked. The ardent practitioner, Adimatra, who is steady-minded, disciplined, constantly engaged in spiritual disciplines, who anticipates the Guru's commands. Most ardent practitioner, Adimatratama, who gains realization very quickly. Most ardent practitioner, Adimatratama. Ardent practitioner, Adimatra. Sadhana, self-effort, spiritual discipline, means the way, from the verb root sad, to go straight to the goal. Generally, the means to release or liberation. Jainism is the three jewels, Tri Ratna, comprised of right faith, right knowledge, and right conduct. Buddhism is the Eightfold Path, Arya, Astanga, Marga. Sankhya is discrimination between spirit, producer, and matter, Prakriti. Yoga is the eight-limbed yoga, Astanga Yoga. Mimamsa is action, karma, or injunction, Vidhi. Advaita Vedanta is ultimately right knowledge, Brahma Jnana, with the preliminary aids of the fourfold prerequisites, Sadhana Katustaya, in hearing, reflecting upon, and digesting the liberating knowledge, Sravana, Manana, and Nidhyasana. Visistadvaita Vedanta is action, karma yoga, and knowledge, Jnana yoga, ultimately culminating in devotion, bhakti yoga. The other accepted path is total surrender, Prapati. Dvaita Vedanta is discrimination followed by knowledge, followed by grace, Vairagya, Jnana, Mahatmya, Jnana, Niskama, Karma, Bhakti, and Prasada. Saiva siddhanta is external acts of worship, charya, then acts of intimate service to God, kriya, then contemplation and internal worship, yoga, and finally divine knowledge of God, jnana. Vira saivism is the 8 protections to be observed, asta avarana, and the 5 codes of conduct, panchachara. Kashmir saivism is divine self-remembrance, pratyabhijna, with the means of anupaya, sambhavopaya, saktopaya, and anavopaya. Siddhanta is contemplation. Takrutu nyaya, one becomes what one contemplates, which leads to the realization of one's own true and essential nature. Sadhana bhakti, devotion with effort, spiritual disciplines concerning devotion. One of the 2 types of devotion, according to Visistadvaita Vedanta, it is a devotion engendered by spiritual exercises. It consists of the 8-limbed yoga, Astanga yoga, the 7-fold moral and spiritual requisites, sadhana, saptaka, etc. See bhakti. According to Visistadvaita Vedanta, this path presupposes certain elaborate disciplines in contrast to Phala Bhakti. Sadhana Chatusthaya, the fourfold aid to the study of Vedanta, according to Advaita Vedanta. These 4 comprise the approximate aid to liberation. They are the ability to discriminate between the transient and the eternal, nitya, anitya, vastu, viveka, the absence of desire for securing pleasure or pain either here or elsewhere. Ehamutra, Artha, Phala, Vairagya, the attainment of calmness, temperance, spirit of renunciation, fortitude, power of concentration of mind and faith, Sama, Dhamadhi, Sadhana, Sampati, and an intent desire for liberation, Mumuksutva, Sadhana Saptaka, 7-fold moral and spiritual discipline leading to devotion. According to Visistadvaita Vedanta, these are discrimination, viveka, which is purification of the body by food that has not become impure either on account of species, abode, or adventitious causes, mental detachment, vimoka, which consists of non-attachment to desires, practice, abhyasa, which is the continuous meditation on the absolute Brahman, action, kriya, which is the performance of the 5 great sacrifices, pancha mahayajna, according to one's capacity, virtues, kalyana, which are truthfulness, straightforwardness, compassion, liberality, nonviolence, non-covetousness, cheerfulness, anavasada, which is freedom from dejection and non-exaltation, anudarsa, which is the absence of exaltation, sadrana, common, a class of fallacious, reasoning, in which the reason is present in the place where the major term sadhya is not present. The mountain has fire because it is knowable. Savya vicharda, sadarani karana, sararani karana, idealization, cause of achievement. According to Indian aesthetics, the secret of an artist's achievement consists in idealization. It is a generalizing of the particular. It enables an artist to conform his or her creation to the highest conception of beauty. It frees the object from ugliness, faults, defects, and mutability. Sadhu, holy person, saint, virtuous, good, sage, from the verb root sad, to go straight to the goal, a monk or ascetic. According to Jainism, it is the fourth stage of the ascetic order. They are saints who scrupulously observe the codes of conduct. They are introverts who do not mix freely with others, nor give spiritual discourses. Their entire being is fixed on spiritual practices. Any person who is practicing spiritual discipline, sadhana, sadhumati, good wisdom, see bodhisattva, sadvi, female ascetic, Jaina noon, sadhya, the subject, the probandham, that which is to be proved, the major term, it is the character which is inferred, it is the major term in syllogism, see anumana, sadhyasama, both the reason and the subject are unproved and yet to be proved, a type of fallacious reasoning in which the reason, hetu, is unproved and yet to be proved. Shadow is a substance. Example given. Shadow is a substance because it is characterized by movement. This is unproved because the reason being characterized by movement is as unproved as the subject, being a substance. See Hetvabasa. Sadyopaya, the means liberation which has to be effected by the aspirant. Sadlinga, the 6 marks. According to Mimamsa, there are 6 marks to be noticed in understanding scripture. Veda, they are beginning and conclusion. Upakrama and Upasamhara, novelty, aparvata, repetition, abhyasa, result or fruit, phala, praise or censure, arthavada, and intelligibility in the light of reason, upapati, sadrisya, similarity, one of the 10 categories of dvaita vedanta. Dvaita claims that inference is made possible because of it. See padartha in chart number 6. Sadrupa, existing in a place in a positive relation perceptible by the senses. Sadvida saranagati, the 6 limbs of absolute self-surrender. It has 6 constituents. To conceive what is in conformity with the will of God is varta, anukolyasya sankalpa. To reject what is disagreeable to Isvarta, pratikolyasya varjanam. To have firm faith that God Isvara will save the self, raksi syati visvasa. The feeling that one is incapable to follow the prescribed path of action, karma, knowledge, jnana, devotion, bhakti, kalpanya, to seek Isvara alone as the protector, goptrtva varanam, and to surrender oneself to God is Varta in all meekness, Atma Niksepa Siprapati, Sadvida Sarangati, Saranagati, Sadvidya, meditation on the absolute Brahma as the real Sat, without a second, as is described in the Chandogya Upanishad, knowledge of the real, Sadvidya Tattva, Sadvidya Tattva, element of true knowledge, a stage in which the subjective and objective sides of experience are equal, according to Kashmir saivism. See Tattva. Sadvikara, the 6 changes. There are 6 changes which occur to an object: origination or birth, growth, maturity, decline, death, and dissolution. Sadhyo mukti, sadhyo mukti. Bodiless liberation immediately on attaining knowledge of the self, admajnana. One gives up one's physical body, according to Advaita Vedanta. It is complete liberation from the embodied state which occurs upon realization. The embodied existence is dropped the moment liberation occurs. Jivan Mukti, Sadhyo Mukti, Jivan Mukti, Sagara, sea, ocean, Saguna, with attributes, with qualities, Sahaja, natural, innate, spontaneous, inborn, together born, type of power which exists in things and by virtue of which changes occur, according to Advaita Vedanta. The self is not another than the individual who is seeking it. It is natural, innate, not external, but part of one's inner nature. Sahakari Karana, accessory or concomitant cause, the components that help the material cause to produce the effect. Sahasrara, the 1,000-petaled, the 7th subtle center, the topmost spiritual center, the 1,000-petaled lotus, crown chakra maybe. located in the crown of his head. It is the seat of Siva, the supreme guru. When Kundalini Sakti unites with Siva in the Sahasrara, the yogi achieves a state of self-realization. See chakra. Sahitya, association, connection, society, combination, harmony. Saho Palamba, simultaneous apprehension. Sahardaya, a qualified appreciator of a work of art, one of similar heart, connoisseur. According to Indian aesthetics, an appreciator of a work of art has to recreate or reconstruct in his or her mind the idea implicit in the work. In order to do this, the appreciator, him or herself, must be an artist at heart. Thus, the appreciator must be qualified appreciator in order to grasp the true import of a work of art. Saiva, a follower of Siva, pertaining to Siva, one who worships Siva as the Supreme Self, a devotee of Siva. Sajatiya, with characteristics, the difference which exists between two objects belonging to the same class, for example, between one tree and another. Sibeda, Sakala, determinate embodied being, stage of the individual soul according to Siva Siddhanta. See Jiva, the individual as it exists with three bonds of ignorance, action, obscuration, anava, karma, and maya. It's called Sakala. Kashmir saivism used the term in the same way, a stage of consciousness, the waking state where an individual desires to obtain knowledge. Sakama Bhava Nirjara, an aspect of Bhava Nirjara, in which the material karma particles are destroyed even before their enjoyment is finished. It is also called Vipaka. See Nirjara. Sakama Bhava Nirjara. Sakampapravrti, halting effort. Sakara, with form. Sakara upayoga, comprehension. According to Jainism, it's one of the types of comprehension or understanding. See upayoga. Saka, schools, branches, different branches of the Brahmanas, which later led to the establishment of the different schools. Etereya, Kasitaki. Okay, hold on. Saka, schools, branches, different branches of the Brahmanas, which led to the establishment of the different schools. Example given, Etaraya Kasitaki. Hold on. Etaraya Kasitaki. Etaraya Kasitaki. Etaraya Kasitaki. Sakyam, friendship, one of the emotions. Bhava, it is a relationship of friendship, one of the 9 forms of devotion. See Bhakti. Sakar Darsana, single observation. Sakar Dagamin, comes back only once returner from Sakura to Gen, Agamin, one coming, a stage in the ethical path of Buddhism wherein an aspirant is only born one more time before attaining perfection. Saksad Upakaraka. Saksadupakaraka directly means see Adradupakaraka. Saksatkhara, self-realization, direct experience. Saksat pratiti, saksat pratiti, direct apprehension. Saksin, the witness self, the intuitive faculty. According to Dvaita Vedanta, it is the witness consciousness, which is the faculty of direct apprehension or perception. It is a pure sense without defects, and always produces absolutely valid knowledge. It indirectly perceives the objects presented to all the other senses through the senses, as well as directly perceiving the knowledge at man, internal organ, antakarana, and attributes of the manas or mind, pleasure and pain, ignorance, time, and the unmanifested ether. It has two functions. It helps produce knowledge, and validity of knowledge is the essential attribute of the self's own sense organ. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is the witness self, neutral. It is consciousness marked by the internal organ, antakarana upahita chaitanya. It is always in relation to consciousness and the witness thereof. It is self-luminous and ever-present. It corresponds to the purusa of the Sankhya Yoga, an example as a passive observer of the states of the internal organ. It never appears by itself, but always in association with the internal organ. Saksi Basya, revealed by the witness itself. According to Advaita Vedanta, all things are revealed by the witness self. Saksin, as assisted by the internal organ. Antakarana, three things are revealed by the witness self alone. Pratibhasika, objects, example given, a mirage or rope/snake. Subjective states of the mind, example given, pleasure or pain, and ignorance, avidya. Saksi Chaitanya, the witness consciousness. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is the awareness which underlies and supports all the states of consciousness. It pervades the waking, dreaming, and deep sleep states. It is not a state like one of these three, but being omnipresent, it is the common denominator that runs throughout them. Sakta, a tradition that regards the female Sakti as a supreme deity or relating to Sakti and her worship, a devotee of the goddess from Sak to be able. It is philosophy closely allied with saivism. It regards Sakti, power personified as the consort of Siva, as the supreme deity in the basis text of the school of the Sakta Agamas, also called Tantras. Sakta Upaya, the means of power, path of Sakti. In Kashmir Saivism, it means to self-realization primarily through the use of the mind, since mental activity plays a vital role in it. It is also called Jnana Upaya, or the path of knowledge. It is also called Beda, unity and multiplicity, Upaya, see Upaya. Sakti, power, capacity, energy, potency. Chitti, Kundalini, force, the divine cosmic energy which projects, maintains, and dissolves the universe. Spouse to Siva from Sak to be able. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is one of the 10 categories. See Padartha and chart number 6. It is 4 kinds: mysterious power, achintya, causal or natural, karana or sahaja, occasioned, adaya, and word, pada. According to Vira Saivism, it is of 6 forms: Chit Sakti, Parasakti, Adi Sakti, Icha Sakti, Jnana Sakti, and Kriya Sakti. According to Sakti's philosophy, it is consciousness as dynamic. Sakti is one with Siva, being the dynamic aspect of his feminine part. It is the divine mother, the latent power of Siva. The potential power latent in human beings is called Kundalini Sakti. Sakti Pata. Transmission of spiritual power from teacher to disciple, spiritual awakening, descent of divine grace. According to the Malini Vijaya Tantra, there are 9 degrees of the descent of grace Sakti. Abhinava Gupta later elaborated these 9 degrees into 27 by explaining that there are 3 forms of grace: intense, medium, and gentle. The most intense form grants instantaneous liberation, Tivra Saktipat. The next level is Tivra Madhya, or tense medium, which makes the recipient a self-born guru. Jnana was an example of this form. Tivra Manda, or intense gentle Saktipat, awakens in a aspirant a powerful yearning to find a sad guru. Such a one Upon meeting the master, it will be initiated by scriptural discussion, by spiritual disciplines, by ritual, by mantra, by mudra, or by the master simply gazing at the disciple. Of the medium forms, the madhya disciple does not have a firm conviction that he/she is siva and attains self-realization only after death. The other forms include madhya, manda, manda madhya, and manda. See, that sounded very orthodox, right? There's certain concepts that sound unorthodox. Okay. Saktopaya, one of the steps to liberation per Kashmir saivism, Siopaya, Salagrama, Ammonite, symbol of Vishnu, Ammonite, Salagrama, Salekana, fasting unto death, according to Jainism, it means to rid oneself of all karma particles and to achieve liberation. Mokta, Salokya, to live in the region of God, being on the same plane as the divine, from Sa, with, plus Loka, world, Sa, with, Salokya. According to Dvaita Vedanta, it is the first level of release. It is entering the abode of Vishnu, Vaikunta. The abode of Vishnu is Vaikunta. See Ananda Taratamya. According to Saiva Siddhanta, the path to release consists of 4 stages. The first stage is called the path of the servant, Dasa Marga, and its goal is Salokya. In this case, it means residence in the realms of Siva Kalesa. See Moksha, Persiva, Siddhanta, and Charya. Also see Samipya, calmness, tranquility, control of the internal sense organs. Same equal from Sam, to be quiet. Method of training the mind by quiet persuasion. See Sadhana Chatustaya. Perfect equality is Samadva, to detach the mind from all objective things by continually seeing their imperfection, and to direct it steadfastly toward the absolute is called tranquility. Samabaruda, the etymological standpoint. This standpoint concentrates on the dissimilarities between words, even between synonyms. This similarity exists when their etymologies are examined. Thus, each word has only one exact meaning from this standpoint. It is also said to imply the splitting of words according to their roots. For example, the literal meaning of the word pankaja is one born out of mud. Panka, see nyaya. Samadhamadi sadhana sampati, the attainment of calmness, temperance, the spirit of renunciation, power of concentration of the mind, fortitude and faith, the third limb of sankharas, fourfold prerequisites. See sadhana chatustaya, and comprises sama, dhamma, uparati, titiksa, samadhana, and shraddha. Samadhi, one-pointedness, concentration, absorption, union, a calm, desireless fixity, a unifying concentration, equal mind from the verb root da equals to hold. The prefixes plus sam together completely. It is a deep spiritual meditation or meditative union with absolute, a superconscious state where there is complete absorption of the intellect into the object of meditation, a state beyond expression and above all thought. Here speech and mind cannot reach. It is a state of utter calmness, which consciousness is unwavering. It is a limb of Patanjali's Raja Yoga. See Astanga Yoga. According to yoga, it has 4 aspects: vitarka, vichara, ananda, and asmita. These are called samadhi with knowledge of objects, samprajnata. There is also samadhi without any knowledge of objects, asamprajnata. According to Buddhism, it is of 3 types: upachara, or preliminary, or jhana, or fixed and steady, and apana, or achieved meditation. It has also been divided into samadhi with the mind, savikalpa, and samadhi without any mental modifications, nirvikalpa, samagri, collocation, the whole cause apparatus, totality. Samakya, designation, siangatva, bodhaka, pramana, samana, to breathe equally, one of the 5 vital airs, siprana. It is the life breath which controls digestion and assimilation. It keeps an equilibrium in the body. It is located in the region of the navel. Samana de karanya, the principle of grammatical coordination. The principle which states that one entity may have 2 aspects. It shows identity as well as difference. It cannot be used therein, whereas there is complete identity or complete difference between the words. Ramanuja used it to explain his key concept of inseparable relation. Apartak siddhi, according to Ramanuja, the grammar of language is the grammar of reality. 2 terms, blue and lotus, have distinct meanings. but refer to the same substance. Distinction is not denied, while at the same time the organic unity of the whole is affirmed. Dvaita Vedanta uses the same concept to show non-difference or identity. Samana jataya dravya paryaya. Samana jataya dravya paryaya. A type of mode that is the result of the combination of inanimate substances. See paryaya. Samana tantra. Samana tantra. A light system. For example, sankhya yoga, nyaya, vaisesika, vedanta. Samanvaya, harmony, samanya, generality, class, universal, future, concept, genus. One of the 7 categories of the vaisesika system, see Padartha and chart number 6. It is the generic future that resides in all the members of a class. It is one, eternal, and resides in the many. It is the common characteristic by virtue of possessing which an individual becomes a member of a class. It is perceptible and perceptible things, imperceptible and imperceptible things. It has a reality of its own, independent of the particulars. It is of different grades. The highest para is being sata, the lowest apara, hotness, and the intermediate para, earthness. The hotness and earthness are less general than being. It is said to reside in substances, qualities, and activities. The relation between it and the individual is inherent. Samavaya, according to Jainism, is neither an abstract entity nor an imposition of the mind, but represents only the accession of similar qualities by similar development of qualities of atoms forming an aggregate. See Urdhva Samanya, according to Advaita Vedanta, is one of the 10 categories. Padartha is a nature which characterizes a class. It is eternal in eternal substances and non-eternal in non-eternal substances. Samanya Laksana, relation to generality or class nature, one of the supernormal modes of perception posited by the Nyaya school, is a relation characterized by generality of class nature, by which when one perceives a particular of a class, one also perceives in general. The other particular example given to see cow is to see cowness, which is present in all cows. See pratyaksa per nyaya. It's like fucking some of the Indian shows too are just so stupid sometimes. Some of the Indian movies are just so fucking stupid. To see a cow is to see cowness, which is present in all cows. Fucking idiot. According to vaibhasika and the sautrantika, it is the conceptual elements aided by the mind in an act of perception. What is actually perceived is only the bare particular, svalaksana. To the bare particular, the mind adds subjective determinations, which are of 5 types: generality, jati, quality, guna, action, karma, name, nama, and substance, dravya. When we learn all these languages, right, we perform angelic divination, okay, through many ritualistic practices, and we always use a lot of different languages as magical alphabets, right? We use a lot of languages from about Greece to South India, like we've said, and we'll flirt a little bit with some Asian languages, right? But we'll translate our divine rituals into those languages, but sometimes we'll dabble a bit in the forms of communication systems of the seers from the ancient timelines of those languages, right? The Sanskrit study is a pretty good example, right? But we have to realize that we create what, all the types of seers that have sat down and channeled divine intel from these angelic divinities and articulated into systems such as this Rigvedic Sanskrit philosophy system that I'm studying right now. Every soul has access to those fountainheads of knowledge, right? So we're going to once again develop our own cosmogonical systems. We're going to develop our own philosophical systems, right? As all the souls and seers of old have done. Right, here we have ancestors. Here we don't know what we have to cite shit. We're citing people, right? We don't know the true source of knowledge at all. vast databases of intel, right? Where we're citing other men, right? This comes up a lot, not only in the collectivized networks, the other men thing, but in the intellectual world, in the academic world. They have this other men thing also, right? And in the ancient timelines, a lot of our ancestors, they were developing vast spiritual systems, and they're not citing anybody. And you guys sit around, where all these human beings coming up, all these vast systems, where they're getting all this knowledge from. They're communicating with the divine intelligence, and they're articulating into these dialects, and then they're developing systems, spiritual traditions. Okay, but where is the source? Is it other men? It's not other men, right? So even not, never mind those collectivized affiliated networks, they can't go a day without other men will die. They can't go a day, right? That's what's going on in the academic world. So we're always seeking external authorities, right? This external authority programming. You see this even in the systems of the East. You got the guru, right? What the hell is that? I don't have a guru. You have this external authority programming, and it's hard to get away from, because they're developing then those archons that are behind external authority programming are then developing other types of systems, orthodox, conventional systems that they put on the minds of millions, and then they put them under the whim of certain entities to keep them collectivized. Not only in male patriarchal hierarchies, we have the collectivism and these alien hive minds, and a lot of implanting and all that other bullshit, right? Well, that's what's going on an etheric level, on a psychic level, on a telepathic level, on an energetic level. That's what's going on in the academic world, in the religious world. So those archons that hide behind the veils of the physical dimension, right? That Maya, the illusory Maya of the physical world. Those archons are hiding behind those veils, okay? And they're the entities that are behind external authority programming. Never mind when we fucking have to do with the collectivized networks, their obsession with external authorities. They want to justify negative behavior, and they want to worry about other men's current, all that bullshit that they do. In those pathetic collectivized affiliated networks, you have deep problems with the needing of male authorities, the lacking in understanding of responsibility, and the needing of male authorities. Never mind to justify unlawfulness. You see this a lot in collectivized networks, right? They always need male authorities, or someone to blame and all that stuff, right? Yeah, we see that in those collectivist networks, absolutely. Not English insight, right? But then we see that in the academic world with all the colleges and all the authority, someone that writes is an authority, right? We wrote some negative poems. They think that we're authorities now, right? Because we're author, we're a writer, we're all this right? Like terms, we talk, even talk, right? We have that in the religious world. Okay, so then we have male deities dealing with archonic deities, putting millions under the whim of entities and systems, right? And then they're allowed to communicate with the divine intelligence directly, sure. But the rest of humanity is not. Okay? So there's a deep programming here with external authority programming, and I'll become an authority and an archon. I'll raise up to the level of archon throughout my life, through all the work that I'm going to do and the systems I'm going to develop, absolutely. But I'm also going to develop systems to counter those external authority systems that are programming humanity. Right? A lot of humans, they think they should go to gurus. No, I'm going directly to the systems from the ancient ancestors. These are forms of communicating systems. I'm not, and then even these systems that I've noted, none of this is individual men. Vast forms of communication. The collectivized networks, the academic world, even the religious world, the world of humanity in general, huge on external authority programming. None of this, I'll mention Helena Blavatsky, sure, okay? With that system of theosophy, has many different authors, but that's the encompassment of all the spirituality of humanity. That's it right there. They call it theosophy, right? And then you have other ones. You have anthroposophy, which is also another pretty good authentic system, right? But we're trying to stay Eastern in this study for now. But notice how these are vast systems. They're forms of communication systems, and they're not other men, right? We have a huge issue in this world, and we're going to develop those systems and explain what that issue is. This other men thing. Can't go a day about these collectivized networks. Never mind in the academic world. Never mind in the religious world. Oh, God. and I'll be an archon authority myself while exposing it. Yeah, absolutely, because you can't escape it. It's a programming, right? But notice when we develop all these systems, and we'll use all those forms of communication from all those other systems that the souls of humanity developed that I deem authentic forms of spirituality. Notice how I'm not going to other men. Yeah, there's giants. There's giants that I'll mention throughout the studies, but that's because they use vast systems of forms of communication that are not from other men. And then where are these human beings getting this gnosis from? When they develop all these spiritual systems, they're not citing anybody. Where are they getting these vast forms of communication systems coming? Where is it coming from? Right? So we have to break down external authority programming, especially in the male psyche. See this a lot in the male psyche. Right? And then a lot of people that teach about the Western magical tradition, some of my teachers from the West, they say that there's these problems in the East with this guru, this stuff, right? This external authority programming. Meanwhile, they manipulate that themselves to be authorities and archons themselves, right? It's hard to get away from. So that's why religion has been a homeland, right? We're going to teach about it way later on, of these archons. These archons hide right behind these religions. And then the authentic systems of spirituality, they've been getting cast aside, right? The Zoroastrianism, the Chaldean theurgy, right? All these ancient systems, they've been cast aside, right? For these presupposed systems. Samana, where am I? Podness, earthness, samaya. According to Jainism, is not an abstract entity nor imposition of the mind, but represents only the accession of similar qualities by spiritual development of qualities of atoms, form, and aggregate. See urdhva, samanya. According to dvaita, Vedanta is one of the 10 categories. Padartha is a nature which characterizes a class. It is eternal in eternal substances and non-eternal in non-eternal substances. So that's the difference between esoteric and exoteric. That's the difference between orthodox and unorthodox. Okay? And we'll explain that we have our esoteric traditions, but humanity is put under exoteric traditions. We have our unorthodox traditions we keep to ourselves. A lot of knowledge we keep to ourselves. We don't really teach other people certain forms of knowledge. And we get very angry, especially in our younger years, if certain knowledge that we have, just because people who should know who we are, that shouldn't even know who we are, now know all the knowledge that we knew when we were young. Right? Because we're not keeping all that knowledge to ourselves, because it's we have that young spirit, right? All this knowledge, all this energy, it's free, it's infinite, there's an infinite amount of it, right? And we don't realize that there's these profound hexes, especially at our younger ages. Now we know that humans might as well be food, right? They can't use the real forms of communication, real language to communicate. They'd rather be full-blown, like, unlawful or something. They can't sit down and be real men in the world. These collectivized networks of idiots, they can't go a day. And then look at me like I'm a fucking idiot. When we use vast forms of communication the spirituality humanity is familiar with, and not need other men for it whatsoever. So we have all this esoteric gnosis, and then the rest of humanity is put under the whim of archonic deities by putting exoteric systems into their consciousness, presupposed. Now they're not coming up with any of those ideas, but all the souls, all the great ancestors of humanity that developed Zoroastrianism, that developed the Vedic system, that developed all these spiritual systems, Chaldean theurgy, Hermeticism, alchemy, Kabbalah, Gnosticism, all the Gnostic sects. Where are they getting all that knowledge from? Where they're streamlining it from a source of intel. Where is it coming from? Other men? It's not coming from other men. Look at that external male authority programming in a lot of our guys in our affiliated networks. Never mind in the academic world. Never mind in the religious world. They can't go directly to the source. They can't go directly to eating healthy. They need doctors. They need external authorities. It's everywhere. And then the male deities, the male authorities are manipulating humanity on a mass scale because of this. Because that constant need for male authority. Right? And then even us avatars of humanity that know All the forms of communication on an individual level. Archons target us. They want us to develop systems, put it in the consciousness of millions. They want us to do things now. They want us to fucking develop forms of media, right? We're meats, right? No, they want us to create all this media. They want us to do shit, right? They're hard to get away from. All this medicine, right? All these substances. Samanya Laksana, relation by generality or class nature, one of the supernormal modes of perception posited by the Nyaya school. It is a relation characterized by generality or class nature, by which when one perceives a particular of a class, one also perceives in general the other particulars. To see a cow is sikanas regisere, samanya to drashta, inference based on non-causal uniformity. Classification of veta, inference based on the distinction as of pervasion, vyapti, and this type of inference is based on non-causal uniformity. When one sees an animal having horns, one infers that it must possess cloven hooves. It gives knowledge of an imperceptible and unperceived object. It is based not upon a relation of causality, but upon the fact that the means and the end are always found together. Samapati, samanya vishesa, generic differentia, samapati, engrossment, attainment, achievement, state of becoming one, coincidence. In yoga, the state of becoming one with the object of cognition, instrument of cognition, and the subject of cognition, the meditation. Samapti, completion, samarasya, homogeneity, even essence, equilibrium. The process of bringing the body into harmonious resonance with the divine, samarpana, surrender to God from the causative form of earth to rise and tend upward, plus sam, to join together to deliver. See samavesha, samarthya, power, capacity, samasti, cosmic collective, samochaya, simultaneous, combination. See jnana, karma, samachaya, samasya, a type of false knowledge found in masti and shukta, knowledge which admits of doubt and suspicion, samadva, equality, equanimity, equalness, samavaya, inherence. According to Nyaya, it is a normal mode of sense relation in which there is inherence, example given contact with sound, which inheres in a sense of hearing. See Sani Karsa, according to Vaisesika, it is an intimate relation between inseparables. It is an eternal relationship which is inherent in the objects related to, exists between five kinds of inseparables: substance and quality, substance and activity, particular and generality, eternal substance and particularity, and whole and parts of these relations. At least one of the entities cannot remain without its relation to the other. See Ayutta Siddha Samavayi Karana Samavayi Karana, inherent cause. The inherent cause is that in which the effect inheres when it is produced. Example given, threads are the inherent cause of cloth. See Karana Samavayin, constitutive, Samaveda, Siveda, Samavesha, attainment of the original position, divine union, perfect merging of the consciousness, the final attainment of the individual according to Kashmir saivism. It also signifies the state wherein Siva and Sakti are identical. Samarasya, Samaveta, Samavaya, inherence, and that which inheres, for example, contact with soundness, which inheres in sound, which in turn inheres in a sense of hearing. A normal mode of sense relation according to the Nyaya school. See Sanikarsa, Samaya, time divided into and perceived as moments, hours, days, agreement, rule of conduct, compact, custom, convention, order, precept. According to Jainism, this is the appearance of the unchangeable time in so many different forms. Sikala, Samaya, Tardya, the foremost noteworthy Saivite saints, Nyayan, Mars. They are Apar, Sandara, Sambandar, and Manikavachakar. Samayika, according to convention, a Jaina ethical code of conduct. It is the practicing of being with the reality. Samayikabhava, temporary non-existence. Sambandha, relation. See Samyoga, Samavaya, Svarupa, Sambandha, and Tadanya. Sambandhokti, first portion of a work which introduces new ideas, sambhava, inclusion, the process of knowing something not directly or immediately, but indirectly, by virtue of its being included in something else which is already known. It is of two types: certain inclusion, example given 1000, includes 100, impossible inclusion, example given a Brahmin may possess holiness, see pramana, sambhavopaya, one of the steps of liberation per Kashmir saivism, path to siva. In Kashmir saivism, it means to knowledge, to self-realization, meant for advanced aspirants. It entails a sudden emergence of Siva consciousness by a mere hint from the Guru, since in this means upaya, the self is realized through the will. It's also called Icha Upaya, Si Upaya, Sambhogakaya, the sheath of enjoyment, Si Trikaya, Sambho, the beneficent, auspicious, from Sam, auspicious happiness, bliss, and Bo, to become original source of bliss, the bestower of happiness, a name for Lord Siva, Sandhya, twilight, dusk, and dawn prayers recited at dawn. Samga, aggregate, compound, the substratum of elements, dharma, according to the Sarvastivadins, the substratum of elements, dharma, according to Sarvastivadins, according to the vaibhasika, as well perceptive things are real and composed of compounds of atoms. Sarvastivadins, according to the Sarvastivadins, according to the Sarvastivadins, according to the Vaibhasikas, Samgraha Nyaya, the class point of view. According to Jainism, is a standpoint which is concerned with the general properties or class characteristics of an object. It is of two kinds, pada samgraha and aparta samgraha. While the former is the highest general outlook for which all the objects are part of the extrament object, the latter dilates upon the general traits of different kinds. See nyaya. Samkharta, destruction, dissolution, according to the saiva schools, it is one of the five functions of siva. Say siva. Samhita, collection, division of the Veda, hymns. Samithya, nearness to God, according to Dvaita Vedanta, is the second level graded release. See Ananda, Taratanya, according to Saiva Siddhanta, the path to release consists of four stages. The goal of the path of sun, Saputra Marga, is to attain the nearness of Siva. See Moksha per Saiva Siddhanta, also see Kriya. Samiti, moderation, according to Jainism, it is of five types: moderation in walking, Samiti, moderation in speaking, Vasa Samiti, moderation in bodily wants, Asana Samiti, careful handling of objects, Dana Niksepana Samiti, and moderation in answering calls of nature, Utsarga Samiti, see Bhava Samvara, Samijna, idea, concept, sign, understanding, Samjnin, rational, Sampat, well, Sampradaya, traditional school, doctrine, handed down, instruction, Sambrajanya, watchfulness over the state, one's body, mind, Samprajnana, knowledge of the principles, tattvas, gained through concentration and retained in a one-pointed mind, Samprajnata, a stage in samadhi wherein one is conscious of an object. The mind functions in a stage and concentrates on an object of knowledge. See samadhi, Samprajnata yoga, intense concentration in a one-pointed mind in which the principles, tattvas, are revealed and permanently retained. Sampratipati, tradition, Samprayukta, composite, Samsara, empirical existence, the wheel of birth and death, transmigration, the flux of the world, the flow of the world, the objective universe, this world, from the verb root sir, to flow, and sam equals together, worldly illusion, Samsarga bhava, relation of non-existence, see abhava, samsarga, abheda, relation of non-duality, according to Advaita Vedanta, one of two types of abheda, samsarga, siva, kyarta. This is oneness by courtesy. There is a oneness with relation, for the oneness exists only on a relational level. The object is, example given in lotus, but it possesses two or more attributes and or meanings, visualization, lotusness and blueness, etc. Samsaya, doubt, one of the 6 categories of the Nyaya school, see Padartha on chart number 6. It is a cognition of conflicting notions with regard to one and same object. It might be either contradictory, example given it is a post or a non-post, uha, or it may be contrary, example given it is a post or it is a man, anadyavasaya. Doubt is of 5 types, due to whether it arises from perception of such properties as are common to many things, cognition of a particular and unique property, conflicting testimony, irregularity of perception, or irregularity of non-perception. Doubt is neither true nor false. Samsaya jnana, doubtful cognition. Samsaya vyudasa. Samsaya vyudasa, removable doubts about the truth of an inference. Samsiddhika. Samsaya sadhika. Samsaidika, natural. Samskara, blatant impression, predisposition, consecration, imprint, innate tendency, innate potence, mold, inborn nature, residual impression, purificatory rite of passage from sam plus kara to fashion or to do together. Samskara, it is a predisposition from past impressions. It's one of the 5 aggregates according to Buddhism. See skanda, they are impressions left in the mind after any experience. See vasana, it is one of the 12 links and they call the chain of existence according to Buddhism. See pratitya samutpada, it is a rite performed with the help of sacred syllables, mantra, to restore a thing to its original pure state. It is a purificatory rite in connection with an individual's life in Brahmanical Indian society. It includes a sacred thread ceremony, marriage rites, funeral rites, etc. It is of 3 kinds: of velocity vega, by virtue of which an object possesses motion, feeling, bhavana, by virtue of which an object possesses motion, feeling, bhavana, by virtue of which there is memory or recognition and oscillation, sthiti, stapa, katva, by means of which a substance returns from a distance to its original position. Samskrta, coming together, combined cause, compounded thing, perfected or polished, refined. Samskrta dharma, ephemeral, impermanent, impure. According to the vaibhasika school, there are 4 types: rupa, chitta, cheta, and chitta viparyukta. These are made of subtle elements, physical as well as mental, whose action and reaction causes the creation of the universe. These are born out of the construction of things and are ephemeral, impermanent, and impure. Rupa is of all physical elements and has been divided into 11 kinds. The 5 external sense organs, there are 5 objects, and avijnapti, chitta, is born out of the interaction of the senses with their objects. All the samskaras remain in chitta, and it is this which transmigrates from world to world. It changes every moment. Cheta are the mental processes related with chitta. There are 46 types of cheta. Chitta viparyukta is the dharma, which cannot be classified as either rupa or chitta. It is of 14 types. Samskrti, purification. The work of action is said to be fourfold, and one of those effects is purification. See karma. Samskrti, purification. Samskrti, purification. Samskrti, samslesha, union. Samslesha, samsarsta relational knowledge. A sentence by its very nature, being comprised of subject and object, conveys relational qualified knowledge. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta posits that there are some sentences, mahavakya, which convey non-relational, non-dual knowledge. Mahavakya samuchaya, commendation. Sijnana karma samuchaya, samudaya satya, The apparent reality of the aggregate, the phenomenalistic theory of the Buddhists. Samulhalambana, group cognition. Samvada, agreement, correspondence. Nyaya hold that validity is ascertained by agreement with the objective facts of experience. Samvadi Brahma, error which leads to the truth. For example, a person mistakes the light of a gem for the gem itself and thereby actually comes to secure the gem. According to Dvaita Vedanta, God takes the form of his vara so that a contact may be made between who the individual thinks they are, the embodied person, and that which they really are, the self, which will eventually lead to liberation. Samvara, the Jaina process of reversing the flow of material karma, particles which bind the individual. According to Jainism, it is of two types, Bhava Samvara and Dravya Samvara. The former checks one's susceptibility to the inflow of karmic particles, while the latter is the actual stoppage of the karmic particles from entering the individual. Samvara is the means of liberation. Samvedana, cognition. Samvega, intense order derived from long practice. Samvid, knowledge, supreme consciousness. Samvarti, a relative point of view, the empirical world, limit, boundary. Samvarti satya, empirical truth. According to madhyamika Buddhism, this is empirical truth. It is of two kinds, worldly truth, loka satya, and illusory truth, mithya satya. It is the pseudo truth, which relates to the world as phenomena. However, according to madhyamika, the distinction between samvarti satya and paramartha satya is epistemic and does not import a difference into reality. The real is one and non-dual. Samyag ajiva, right or correct livelihood, from samyak and right plus jiv, to live. One of the limited noble eightfold path to Buddhism. Siddhartha Astanga Marga Samya Charitra Samyak Charitra, right conduct or character, from Samyak equal right plus char, to go. One of the three jewels of Jainism is the practice of beneficial activities which lead to liberation and abstinence of harmful activities which bind an individual. It includes observing the five great vows, Pancha Mahavrata, restraints, Gupti, Dharma, etc. It is of two types, partial, Vikala, for the householders, Ravaka, and complete Sakala for the renunciate Muni. See Triratna. Samyak Darshana. Samyak Darshana, right or correct faith, from Samyak equals right plus Dars, to see, view. One of the three jewels of Jainism, it is considered the prime cause of liberation as it paves the way for the other two jewels. It is right faith in the seven tattvas, Jiva, Ajiva, Bandha, Samvara, Nirjara, and Moksha. See Triratna. Samyak Darsti, right or correct vision, from Samyak equals right plus Dars, to see. One limited noble eightfold path of Buddhism. See Arya Astanga Marga. Samyak Jnana, right or correct knowledge, from Samyak equals right plus Jnana, to know. One of the three jewels of Jainism. It is a specialized knowledge of the essence of the self. Jiva, not self. Ajiva is without any defects and beyond all doubt. See Triratna. Samyak Vak, right or correct speech, from Samyak, right, plus Vak, to speak. One limb of the noble eightfold path of Buddhism. See Arya Astanga Marga. Samyak Vyayama, right or correct effort, from Samyak equals right, Vyama, to strive. One limb of the noble eightfold path of Buddhism. See Arya Astanga Marga. Samyak Karmanta, right or correct conduct, from Samyak equals right plus Kara, to do, and Anta equals end. One limited noble eightfold path of Buddhism. See Arya Astanga Marga. Samyak Samadhi, right or correct contemplation, from Samyak equals right plus Samadha, to direct, unite together. One limb of the noble eightfold path of Buddhism. See Arya Astanga Marga. Samyak Sankalpa, right or correct resolve, from Samyak equals right plus Samkalpa, to resolve. One limb of the noble eightfold path of Buddhism. See Arya Astanga Marga. Samyak Smrti, right or correct recollection, from Samyak equal right plus smart to remember. The unlimited nobly full path to Buddhism. See Arya, Astanga Marga, Samyana, self-control, combined practice. The combined practice of the last three steps in Raja Yoga: concentration, meditation, union, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Sam Yoga, conjunction, contact, and normal mode of sense relation in nyaya. Conjunction is represented by the contact of the sense of sight with an object, which is in conjunction therewith. According to vaisesika, it is of three types, where one substance comes and conjoins with another. Anyavatara karmaja, where the conjunction takes place as a result of activity on the part of both the substances. Ubaya karmaja, and where the conjunction takes place through the medium of another conjunction. Samyogaja. Samyogaja, a type of conjunction where the conjoining takes place through the medium of another conjunction. Samyukta samavaya, inference with that which is in conjunction. Samyukta samaveta samavaya, inference in that which inheres and that which is in conjunction. Sananda Samadhi, a stage in Samadhi wherein the mind chitta is concentrated on pure sattvika, subtle object. This type of meditation renders the mind pure, sattvika, and gives bliss. Sanatana. Sanatana, eternal, ancient, primeval. Sanchita, karma and action, unripe actions from Sam, together, cheat, consciousness, thought, actions which have not yet begun to produce their results or fruits. See karma, pradabdha, and agamin. Sanchita. Sandhya, junction, union, hold together, junction of three divisions of the day. Do, noon, and dusk. Sandhya pasana, the daily worship of God. Sunrise, noon, and sunset prescribed for the twice born Hindu. Sandigda, doubtful middle term. It occurs in an inferential cognition when there is a doubtful connection between the middle term hetu and the major term sadhya. Sangha, collection, community, the community of monks which followed the Buddha. Its nucleus was formed in the Deer Park, where the Buddha gave his first sermon. It is the custodian of the Buddhist religion or teaching dharma. The disciples of Mahavira formed a Jaina community, Sangha. They divided themselves into 11 groups called Gana, with each group being led by a Ganadhara. Sangha, collection, community. Sangrahani, a type of sacrifice. Sanka, doubt. Sankalpa, wish, volition, resolution, will, determination, intention. From the root klerp, to be in order. Come into existence, determine. Sam, completely, perfectly. The dynamic energy of Vishnu, one of the four ways of Guru, gives Sakti pot initiation. Sankalpasraya, praksaya, dependent on the will of God. Sankara, auspicious name for Siva. Sankaracharya, the great sage and the most famous exponent of Advaita Vedanta, from the verb root kara, to make, and sam, auspiciousness. The great Indian philosopher and saint who expounded a philosophy of absolute non-dualism, Advaita Vedanta. He traveled all over India, defeating the contending schools of philosophy, revived Hinduism, and established maths ashramas in the four corners of India. Sankaracharya founded Advaita Vedanta. Sankarsana, one of the manifestations of Vishnu. His activities are to destroy the universe at the time of the solution and to propound the scriptures. He is said to have emanated from Vasudeva and Pradyumna, emanated from him in turn. He hypostatizes into Govinda, Vishnu, Madhu, Sudana, who has the qualities of knowledge and strength. Si Vyuha, Sankardya, unwarranted blind. Sanketa, convention. Sanka, conshell. Sankarta, synthetic mental states and the synthetic functioning of compound sense affections, compound feelings, and compound concepts. Sankhya, number knowledge, one of the categories of the Prabhakara school. It is one of the qualities of nyaya vaisesika. Sankhya, the philosophical school which enumerates the ultimate objects of knowledge. Kapila was the founder of this orthodox Astika system and author of Sankhya Sutra. The earliest authoritative book on classical Sankhya is the Sankhya Karika of Isvarda Krishna. The school professes dualistic realism with its two eternal realities, spirit Purusa and primordial matter Prakriti. The term Sankhya means both discriminative knowledge and enumeration. Sanklesha, affliction. Sankocha, a contraction. Sanksepa, an external penance in Jainism. Sanmatra Vadin, one who holds the theory of the absolute as mere being. Sanna, perception, according to Buddhism, one of the five aggregates. See Skanda. Sanidana, proximity. Sanidhi, proximity, one of the causes which brings about a valid cognition from a proposition and consists in the articulation of words without undue delay. It is also called asati. Siakanksa, asati, yogyata, and tatparya. Sanidhya, existing in the proximity of God, according to Advaita Vedanta, one of the four levels of release. See Samipya and Ananda Taratnya. According to Saiva Siddhanta, it is the goal of Satputra Marga in the stage of Kriya. See Moksha, Saiva Siddhanta. Sani Karsa, sense object contact, according to Nyaya, sense object contact may be of six normal Laukika modes of sense-object relation. This is due to the fact that contact occurs between substances, qualities, class, nature. These six modes of conjunction, samyoga, inherence in that which is in conjunction, samyukta, samavaya, inherence in that which inheres in that which is in conjunction, samyukta, samaveta, samavaya, inherence, samavaya, inherence, that which inheres, samaveta, samavaya, adjunct, substantive relation, vishasana, visesya, vava, or vishasanata. According to Nyaya, there are also three supernormal alaukika modes of sense-object relation. Relation by generality, samanya laksana, relation by previous knowledge, jnana laksana, and the perceptive faculty of yogins, or that is cultivated by yoga, yogaja. Sanipadya upakaraka. Sanipadya upakaraka, a subsidiary action which is componently helpful to something else, an accessory. Sannyasa, monkhood, renunciation from sam equals complete, plus ni equals down, plus as, to throw, hence to throw down completely. The stage of renouncing all worldly possessions and ties, the last stage of human life, see asrama, is of two kinds. Vivedisa sannyasa, or renunciation preceded by a sense of detachment from the world, and vidva sannyasa, which is renunciation par excellence, preceded by the dawn of realization of the self in the former. Certain rules must be observed, but in the latter there is absolute freedom. Sannyasin, ascetic monk, homeless, mendicant from sam, complete, down, as, to throw down completely, an ascetic ordained as a monk, a renunciant who has taken the formal vows of renunciation. Sanskritam, polished, refined, name of an Indian language, perfected from the verb sam, to make perfect, complete. Kurt, to do. Sanmarga, true way, high stage in Saiva Siddhanta, see Marga. Santa, having an end. Santa, peace, contentment. Parabhakti, Santanacharya, the philosophical preceptors of Saiva Siddhanta, they are Mekandar, Arul Nandi, Sivacharya, Umapati, and Jnana Sambandar. Santi, peace, contentment, from the verb root sam, to be at peace. Santosha, contentment, peace, one of the observances, Nayama, in Patanjali's Raja Yoga. Sapaksa, similar instance, that which possesses similar attributes of the subject, which is desired to be inferred. The subject is known for certain in this case, Sipaksa and Vipaksa. Sapra Pancha, the cosmic view of the absolute. The Upanishads conceived of the absolute Brahman as the all-inclusive ground of the universe, Sapra Pancha, as well as the reality of which the universe is but an appearance. In this Prapancha, the theistic traditions hold the cosmic view. Sapta Bangi Nyaya. The seven propositions, see Siadvada, Sapta Matrika, After Matarka, the seven mothers, the goddess is depicted on the seven forms. These seven are in the creation of the word and identify with the seven vowels, five pure and two mixed, which are the basis of all language. These seven are Brahmani, Mahaswari, Kamari, Vaishnavi, Varahi, Indrani, and Chamunda. Sapta Pramatur, the seven stages of the individual soul in Kashmir saivism. Sakala, Pralayakala, Vijnanakala, Mantra, Mantresvara, Mantra, Mahasvara, and Siva, the individual endowed with three taints, Mala, is called Sakala, endowed with karma, and Navamala is called Pralayakala, endowed with only Anava is called Vijnanakala. As it passes through the Siva Tattva, it is called Siva, or Sambhava. As it passes through the Sakti Tattva, it is called Saktija. As it passes through the Sadasiva, or Sadakya Tattva, is called Mantra Mahasvara. As it passes through the Isvara Tattva, it is called Mantra Svara. And it passes through the Sadvidya Tattva, it is called Mantra. Sapta Vida Anupapati. Sapta Veda Anupapati, the seven great untenables. The seven untenables are seven major objections raised by Ramanuja against the Vidya doctrine, propounded by Advaita Vedanta. Their untenability of the lokas, Asraya Anupapati, untenability of concealment, Tirodana Anupapati, untenability of Avidya's nature, Svarupa Anupapati, untenability of indefinability, Anurvatanaya Anupapati, untenability per valid means of knowledge, Pramana Anupapati, untenability of that which removes, Nivartaka Anupapati, untenability of complete cessation, Nivarti Anupapati, for details, refers to the Sri Bhasya and Vedartha Sangraha of Ramanuja. Sarana, protection, refuge. It is also a stage of consciousness. Stala, Sarana, Saranagati, absolute self-surrender. Total dependence on God, leaving everything to His will, is called total self-surrender. According to visistadvaita Vedanta, it is an absolute unconditioned surrender to self. Sikrapati, Sarasvati, she of extreme name of Brahma's consort, who presides over speech, knowledge, and arts, the goddess of wisdom, from Sharas flowing in Vati, having the name of one of the monastic orders founded by Sankaracharya. Sarga, creation, Canto, chapter, one of the five topics which the Pradhana deals with. See Pradhana. Sarira, body, that which perishes. Sheath, from the verb root shri, to waste away. According to Visistadvaita Vedanta, the body is that which is supported by the self, controlled by the self, exists for the sake of the self. It has 8 constituents and 5 elements: Mahambhuta, promoting nature, Prakriti, egoism, Ahankara, and great Mahat. In the great Mahat, it is divided into the gross body, Stula Sarira, and the subtle body, Linga or Sukshma Sarira, and the causal body, Karana Sarira. Advaita Vedanta calls the causal body sheath of bliss. The subtle body is composed of the mental sheath, the sheath of the intellect, and the sheath of breath. The gross body is composed of the food sheath. According to Nyaya vaisesika, the body is made up of earth, water, fire, and air, and is not constituted the 5 elements as postulated by Sankhya and Advaita Vedanta. Sardiraka Sutra, a name for the Brahma Sutra, since it is concerned with the nature and destiny of the embodied individual soul. Sardirdi Bhava, the relation subsisting between the body and the soul, according to Visistadvaita Vedanta. Sarirdi Sambandha, vital relation of the body and the indwelling soul between the finite self and absolute, as expounded by Ramanuja. Sarira Vyaparda, physical effort. Sarira Rendriya, Sarirde Rendriya, the cycle is physical, complex to the individual. Sarirde Indriya. Saririn, individual soul, Jiva, according to Advaita Vedanta. Saropya, to obtain the same form as God. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is the 3rd level of graded release. Ananda, Taratmya, and Moksha. According to Siddhanta, it is the goal of the path to the friend. Sakamarga, it is in the stage of yoga. Moksha per Siddhanta. Sardva, all complete. Sarvagata, omnipresent. Sarvajna, omniscient, all-knowing. Sarvakarma Tyaga, renunciation of all actions. Sarvastivada, theory that all exists. in early realistic school of Buddhism associated with the Theravada or Hinayana tradition is also called vaibhasika. Sarvastivada, the theory that all exists. That makes sense. Sarvavadi, clairvoyance, an aspect of clairvoyance by which one may perceive the non-sensuous aspects for the material things of the universe. According to Jainism, it is a type of otherworldly Vikala knowledge, Siyavadi, Sarvajnatva, omniscience, Sarva Karma Sannyasa, Sarva Karma Sannyasa, renunciation of all actions. It is a renunciation of all actions. Sarva Kartartva, Sarva Kartartva, omnipotent, Sarva Tantra Siddhanta. Sarva Tantra Siddhanta, an established conclusion accepted by all schools of thought. See Siddhanta. Sarvotama, the supreme reality. Sasambodha, determinate consciousness. Sasmit Samadhi, Sasmit Samadhi, a stage in Samadhi, which the intellect itself becomes object to concentration. See Samadhi. Sasti Tantra, name for the Sankhya school. Sastra, scripture, teaching, doctrine, treatise, from the verb root sas, to rule, teach. Sacred books in Indian thought are divided into four categories: primary scripture, shruti, that which is heard; secondary scripture, smrti, that which is remembered; historical, mythological, purana, epics, itihasa, and tantra. Sastra avasya, those individuals who do not abide by scriptural injunctions. See Jiva Parbada. Sastra vasya, those individual souls who follow the scriptural injunctions. They are of two kinds: pleasure seekers, bubuksu, and liberation seekers, mumuksu. Pleasure seekers, bubuksu; liberation seekers, mumuksu. Sastra vasya, those individual souls who follow scriptural injunctions. Sastra yoni tvat, Brahman is not known from any other source, since the scriptures alone are the means of Brahman knowledge. The third aphorism, Sutra of the Brahma Sutra, it may also be interpreted: the absolute Brahman is omniscient because of its being the source of the scriptures. Sastri, one who knows the traditional doctrine; teacher, punisher. From the verb root sas, to rule, teach, punish. Sastri, sasvata, eternal. Sat, existence, reality, being. According to Advaita Vedanta, the absolute is pure being. Sata sat, unreal, being, non-being. See Sata sat. Sat chakra nirupana, Sat chakra nirupana, piercing the six centers, name of a yoga text dealing with the serpent power, Kundalini Sakti, and its arousal from the base of the spine, Muladhara chakra, to the crown of the head, Sahasrara, piercing the six nerve plexus chakra on its way up. Sati, the burning of widows on the husband's funeral pyre. Originally, only a king's Maharaja wife performed the act of entering the burning pyre of her dead husband. Satkaranavada, the theory that cause alone exists. Strictly speaking, the Advaita Vedanta theory of causation should be called this instead of Satkaryavada. The cause alone is real and ever existent, and all effects or phenomena in themselves are unreal. See Vivartavada. Satkaryavada, the theory of causation, that the effect exists prior to its manifestation in a latent state, and the cause operation only makes patent the latent effect. According to this theory, it is a theory held by the Sankhya school, which states that the world is an emanation of the absolute Brahman. It's also called Parinamavada. Saiva Siddhanta also holds Satkaryavada. See Parinamavada and Asatkaryavada. Sankarya Drishti, Satkarya Drishti, illusory vision, and belief in the permanence of the individual soul. This is an illusory belief according to Buddhism, for there is no soul. The soul is but a name given to an aggregate of elements. It is the first obstacle in ethical life. Satyati, cognition of the real, a theory of error, which the concept of error is, in some sense or other, real. All the systems except madhyamika, advaita Vedanta, and dvaita Vedanta fall into this category. Satyati, the Atma Kyati of Yogacara, and Akyati of Sankhya, and Prabhakarta Mimamsa, and the Yatharka Kyati of Visistadvaita Vedanta. The Visistadvaita Vedanta theory of error is sometimes called Satkyati, Si Yatharta Kyati, Si Kyati Vada, Sat Kyati, connection of the real, Sat Pratipaksa, Sat prati paksa, opposable reason, a type of fallacious reasoning in which the reason is contradicted by counter-inference. See Hedvabhasa. See prakarana sama satsanga, holy company, association with the good, from sad, evil, good, true, holy, sangha, come together, meaning company of the good, of the godly, of the wise, of God-minded persons, pious comradeship for spiritual aspirants, of meeting of devotees to hear scriptures, chant, or sit in the presence of a holy being, the company of saints and devotees. Stala, process in vira saivism, whereby an aspirant grows step by step in various stages until he or she attains oneness with Lord Shiva. There are 6 stages of consciousness: Bhakta Stala, Mahesha Stala, Kasadi Stala, Prana Lingi Stala, Sharana Stala, and Ekya Stala. These 3 correspond 6 stages of devotion: Satnista, Avadana, Anubhava, Ananda, and Samarasa Bhaktis. These 6 are marked by 6 stages of yogacara, guru, jivachara, prasada, and mahayoga. Of these 6, the first 2 are characteristics of a tyaga soul, the next 2 are of a bhoga soul, and the last 2 are of a yoga soul. It is the connecting link between self, Atman, and absolute Brahman, according to Sripati. Sata, being exists according to vaisesika school. Being is the highest universal. According to Advaita Vedanta, being is the reality. Sattva, sattva, pure, steady, goodness, illuminating, buoyant, joy, pleasure, one of the 3 qualities. Guna, its nature is a pleasure and it serves to illuminate. Sattva, pure. Sattva, sunya, empty time. In the visistadvaita system, time is devoid of all qualities. Guna, satya, truth, from the verb root as, to be. The world of the highest truth of being, see Loka, the golden age, an age of truth, innocence, and purity. The path to liberation in this age is meditation. One of the abstentions of the Raja Yoga discipline, it is absolute truthfulness and abstaining from uttering any falsehood. See Yama, one of the 5 ethical principles of Jainism, see Mahavrata. Satyakama, one who loves the good, the being with eternal perfections, one whose desires are ever fulfilled, name of a truthful child in the Chandogya Upanishad, who approached the sage Gautama and asked to be admitted to his school. Because he told the truth, he was admitted even though he did not know his lineage. Satya Sankalpa, one who wills the truth, one whose will is always realized. Satya Sankalpa, one who wills the truth. Satyasya Satyam, the true, real reality, a famous quote from the Upanishads describing what is real. It's a good one. Satyapadi, true limitation as opposed to false limiting adjuncts. Saucha, purity, cleanliness, one of the religious observances as a Raja Yoga discipline. One of the 10 dharmas according to Jainism. Saulabhya, easy accessibility, benevolence, according to visistadvaita vedanta, God is easily accessible to his devotees. Sava, corpse, savadika, limited, according to nirvadika, savadika. Savakasa, that which has had its scope fulfilled. Savichara Samadhi, stage in samadhi, wherein the mind, chitta, is identified with some subtle object and assumes its form. See samadhi. Savikalpa, determinate. See nirvakalpa, pratyaksa, and samadhi. Savikalpa, determinate. Savishesa, qualified with attributes. Savishesa bina dharmi svarupa vedavada. Savishesa abhina dharmi svarupa vada. The dvaita vedanta theory that difference is identical with the essential nature of an object. According to Advaita Vedanta, difference is the essence of an object, while at the same time providing through attributes the means of distinguishing the difference from an object as such. See beta. Tarka samadhi. One of the two types of vitarka concentration. There's a type of union, samadhi, in which the mind concentrates on objects remembering their names and qualities. See samadhi and vitarka. Savya vichara, type of fallacious reasoning, in which the reason is inconstant. For example, when fire is taken as a reason, it turns out inconstant and cannot prove the existence of smoke, for even when there is no smoke, there may be fire. It is divided into three types: common, sadharana, uncommon, asadharana, and unsubsuming, anupasam harim, see hate vaibhasika. It is otherwise known as nirgranthas, sayuja, united with God, togetherness, from the verb root yuj, to unite, sa, with. The final level of liberation, according to Advaita Vedanta, see ananda taratmya. The consummate level of liberation, according to Visistadvaita Vedanta. The final stage of liberation, according to Saiva Visistadvaita, is the goal of Sanmarga and the stage of knowledge, jnana, see moksha, per Siva Siddhanta. Shesa, part that is left over, essentially dependent, endless, infinite, according to Visistadvaita Vedanta. Relation of God with an individual soul is that of the Shesin principle, and the Shesa subordinate. The name of the snake which Vishnu reclines upon, the Lord reclines on the infinite. Saisava type inference is based on the distinctions of pervasion, vyapti. This type of inference proceeds from a perceived effect to an unperceived cause. When one infers on the perception of a river in flood that it was raining heavily in the mountains which feed the river. It's essentially negative in character, as it is based on the coabsence of the major and middle terms. It is also called advaita. Shasin, principle, God, and Visistadvaita Vedanta. Seva, service, selfless service, work performed with an attitude of non-doership without attachment to the fruits of one's labor. Siddha, complete, perfect, accomplished, adept, from the verb root siddh, to attain, perfected being, an accomplished one, a seer, a perfected yogi, one who has attained a high state and became one with God. Perfect human being, one who has attained a state of unity, awareness, who experiences himself as all pervasive, and who has achieved mastery over his senses and their objects. According to Jainism, is one of the sixfold stages in spiritual evolution. It is the final stage, which represents the transcendental state. Siddhas are those who are free from the causal plane and all effects of karma. Their state is one of infinite, pure, and unlimited bliss. They have reached the top of the universe, and from there is no fall. They are traditionally said to be 64 perfected beings, siddhas, though in actuality there are many more. Two of the most well-known siddhas include Matsyendranath and Gurudakshanath. The Lord Shiva is said to be the first siddha. Some people define a siddha as one who possesses miraculous power, siddhi. Siddha, complete, perfect, inadept, a siddha. Siddhanta, the final view, the set of conclusion. Siddha pada vakya, an assertive proposition conveying something that is already descriptive. Siddhartha vakya, the vakya, existential statement which is purely descriptive. Such statements convey knowledge of objects already in existence. Mimamsa says that they are subsidiary to injunctive statements. Vidivakya. Mimamsa claims that existential statements merely give information about and clarify vidivakyas and thereby gain their sole validity. Advaita gives existential statements primary importance as they intimate the existence of absolute Brahman. Advaita Vedanta interprets them qualitatively, giving supreme importance to them. Mimamsa gives injunctions the greatest validity due to their being quantitatively greater in the Vedas. Mimamsa says that existential statements convey what is already known through other sources of knowledge, and hence they are mere restatements. Anuvada. Siddhasana, the perfect posture, a posture used for meditation formed by placing one heel at the anus and placing the other heel at the root of the sexual organ, with the ankle joints touching one another. Siddhi, powers, modes of success, attainment, supernatural powers, attained through mantra, repetition, meditation, or yoga practice from the verb root seed to attain. There are 8 traditional powers: anima, lagima, garima, mahima, prapti, prakamyam, vasidvam, and yatra kamavasayitvam. These are the capacity to grow small and penetrate all things, lightness, or the ability to rise up, extreme heaviness, extensive magnitude, extreme reach, attaining all the objects of one's desire, and full ability of purpose. Other powers include the ability to fly, Dardura, the conquest of death, Mrityunjaya, the ability to acquire hidden treasure, Patala Siddhi, an ability to fly over the earth, Buchari, the ability to enter in another's body, Kaya Siddhi, the ability to fly in the sky, Kechari, knowledge of the past, present, and future, Trakala Jnana, power to die at will, Icha Mrityu, power to be free from hunger, thirst, sorrows, infatuation, infirmity, old age, and death. Anuramima Tvan, the ability to hear even at long distances. Durdas Ravana, the ability to see even at long distances. Durdarshana, the ability to move the body as quickly as the mind. Manojava, the ability to take any form one wishes. Kamarupa, the ability to enter into another person's body. Pardakaya Pravesha, the ability to die when one wishes. Svajanda Martyu, the ability to see the sportive activities of the gods. Darshana, the ability to attain things of one's predetermination. Sankalpa Parartha Prapti, the ability to command anyone to do anything. Apratihata Adesha, Siddhopaya, the means of liberation which is self-accomplished. Sikha, tuft on the crown of the head. Tantra, Siksa, teaching phonetics, one of the 6 limbs of the Veda, Vedangas. Siksa Rata, and ethical conduct, which is comprised of Samayika, Prasadopavasa, Boga Parimana, and Atisamvibhaga. Sila, conduct, good behavior, right discipline, morality, good behavior, humility, self-restraint, and self-giving comprised. Right discipline is desisting from committing all sinful deeds, according to Buddhism, is one of the 6 ideals of virtues. Silpa Sastra, a scripture which deals with the construction of temples and the fine arts. Shishya, disciple, student. one who is taught by the teacher, Siksyata iti sisya, one who has become improved, introverted, as a result of the study of the scriptures, Athava, Sisyate, Visisyate Sastradi, parties na nena, by herd, Mukapakshaya etc., one who controls and curbs activities of one's own sense organs. Indrayadi Pravartim Siksyati iti sisya. Sista, this disciplined one. Sita, Pharaoh, one consort and go after Janaka, heroine of the Ramayana. Shiva, auspicious to ultimate reality Lord, according to Saiva school. Siva is the supreme godhead. Concept is traced to the Rig Veda, and he is the same as Rudra. Literally, Siva means good or auspicious. Lord Siva exercises 5 functions: creation, sarshti, maintenance, sthiti, dissolution, samhara, obscuration, tirodhana, and grace, anugraha. According to Saiva Siddhanta, Siva has 8 qualities: independence, purity, self-knowledge, omniscience, freedom from mala, balance, benevolence, omnipotence, and bliss. According to Saiva Siddhanta, Siva appears in 8 forms: earth, water, air, fire, sky, the sun, and the moon. And human beings see the benedictory, Nandi, Versita, Abhijnana, Sakuntala, Kalidasha. According to Vira saivism, Siva manifests in 6 forms: see Linga Stala. Name for the all-pervasive supreme reality, Siva. One member of the Hindu Trinity. He represents God as the destroyer. He is the personal God of the Saivites. It is his personal form. He's portrayed as a yogi wearing a tiger skin, holding a trident, with snakes coiled around his neck and arms. According to Kashmir saivism, Siva has 5 principles: Vidya, Isvara, Sada, Siva, Sakti, and Siva. He also has 5 faces: Sadyojata, Vama, Deva, Gora, Tatparusa, and Isana. Siva Bhoga, a stage of liberation in Saiva Siddhanta. In this stage, the individual soul enjoys bliss with Lord Siva. Siva Chara, seeing everyone as Lord Siva. One of the 5 codes of conduct in Vira Saivism, see Panchachara. Siva Linga, form of Siva. According to Vira Saivism, it is a manifestation of divine seed Linga Stala. Siva Sakti, the twin truth of Shaktiism, affirming the static and dynamic aspects of reality. Siva Yoga, a stage of liberation in Saiva Siddhanta, and this stage the individual soul unites with Lord Siva. Skamba, pillar, see Stamba. Skanda, group aggregate. According to Buddhism, they are aggregates of bodily and psychical states which are immediate to oneself. They are divided into 5 classes: body, rupa, feelings, vedana, perception, sana, predispositions from past impressions, samskara, and consciousness, vijnana. They constitute what a person is. Being impermanent, they lead only to sorrow. They point to the fact that a person is merely an empirical aggregate and has no essence. Rupa stands for the physical elements and other 4 aggregates. Skanda stand for the psychical elements in itself. Slasha, connection, combination, words having more than one meaning, multi-valent. Most words in the Sanskrit language are very amenable to double, triple, etc. meanings. Smardanam, remembering the Lord. Sibhakti, Smarta, followers of the secondary scriptures. Smarti, or remember text, from the verb root smart, to remember. Smarti, memory, recollection, that which is remembered, from the verb root smar, to remember. According to visistadvaita, is included in perception as a valid means of knowledge. Is caused by similarity, sadarsya, unseen effect, adarsa, deep thinking, chinta, or association, sahacharya. According to nyaya, it is non-representative of knowledge. Non-presentative knowledge, which may be either true, yathartha, or false, ayathartha, but not valid, prama. According to Jainas and vaisesikas, it is valid immediate knowledge. According to Nyaya Mamamsa, it is invalid knowledge, though their reasons for its invalidity differ. According to Advaita Vedanta, it is either valid or invalid as the case may be. According to Nyaya Vaisesika, recollection is a cognition caused solely by impressions. Advaita and Bhattamamsa explain it as a cognitive complex consisting of two parts, perceptual experience and recollection. Nyaya calls it perceptual experience of a special type. Smriti also refers to traditional scriptures, which includes the limbs of the Veda, Vedangas, the law books, dharma sastras, epics, Itihasas, and the Puranas. The principal law books are the Manasmriti, Parasara Smriti, and Vasistadvaita. Other Smritis are Shankara, Nikita, Ashri, Vishnu, Harika, Yama, Angarasha, Asanas, Shavarta, Brahaspati, Katyayana, Dasa, Vyasa, Rajnavagya, and Satatapa. Smriti Prasthana. Smriti Prasthana, the remembered foundation, the Bhagavad Gita. The Bhagavad Gita is so called according to Vedanta. See Prasthanam Traya. Snana, ritual bath. Sneha, smoothness. Oiliness, viscidity. According to Nyaya Vaisesika, viscidity is a quality which causes the lumping up of powder. It causes the particulars of powder to adhere to each other. It belongs only to water. Shoka, sorrow. Soham, I am here, the natural vibration itself, which occurs spontaneously with each incoming and outgoing breath. By becoming of it, a yogi experiences the identity between his individual self and his supreme self. Soma, intoxicating drink and used to sacrifice Vedic sacrifices and active immortality. Sapati Brahma, delusion due to an external adjunct. For example, the crystal appears red in the physical proximity of a red flower. Sapati Sesa, a form of perfection, nirvana, in which some impressions remain. See Nirupadi Sesa, Sopakrama, action which has started producing results. Spanda, vibration, flutter, throb, self-movement, creation. Svatantriya, Sakti, pulsation, creation, pulsation, creative pulsation, apparent motion, and emotionless. Tiva, which brings about the manifestation. Maintenance and withdrawal of the universe, a name for Kashmir saivism, the principle of apparent movement from the state of absolute unity to the plurality of the world. Sparsha, touch, sense, contact, one of the 5 subtle essences of the elements, the tanmatra, 1 of 12 links in the causal chain of existence. See Pratitya, Samutpada, Svatika, crystal. Some of the lingas are made of the substance. The linga Svata, to burst, manifest, boil, idea, connection between letter and meaning, having underlying power behind individual letters of a word, which present the meaning of the word to reader or hearer. It is the eternal essence of a word. According to the grammarians, it is manifested by letters and itself manifests the meaning of a word. It is a single meaningful symbol that articulates sounds. Using linguistic discourse emulated by the means by which the symbol is revealed. According to the grammarians who propounded the theory, it is the eternal essence of words, both because it is manifested by the letters and because it manifests the meaning. This concept arose due to the need to explain how individual letters form a meaningful word. Svota, Svirata, to tremble, throb, quiver, palpitate, flash, twinkle, shine, to be brilliant. Svirata, Shraddha, faith, Shrad, faith, Da, place, Shraddha, last rites, Sramana, monk, mendicant, making effort, struggling, laboring, Srauta, scriptural. These are scriptures based on the Vedas. Vedic rituals primarily dedicated to Agni and Soma. They're generally older and more complex than Graha rituals, usually called traditional, public, or solemn. They require 3 fire altars and the services of several priests. See Gurkha, see Agama, Shiravaka, listener, disciple, are named for the followers of the Hinayana tradition in Buddhism. A layperson in Jainism who merely expressed his or her Sravika, faith in the Jaina doctrines, and attempts as best they can't follow the dharma. See Shravaka Dharma, Shravaka Dharma. The householder's duties, according to Jain spiritual disciplines, many concessions are allowed to the household in observing the various virtues. Sravana, hearing, study, approximate aid, according to Advaita, for liberation. An aspirant should hear the Upanishadic texts from a qualified teacher. This will remove any doubts as one has to the nature of the means of valid knowledge, pramana, to know the absolute Brahman. An example, Shruti, it is stage of formal study. Simukya, Antaranga, Sadhana. Sravanam, listening to the glory of the Lord. Sibhakti, Shrayas, good, beneficial. In the Upanishads, there is a distinction made between Prayas, what is pleasing or pleasurable, and Shrayas, what is good or truly beneficial. One is warned never to be lured away by the merely pleasing, for there is no end to the pursuit of pleasure. See Prayas. Shri, Shri, excellent, venerated, wealth, Lakshmi, from the verb root Shri, to flame, diffuse light, a time of respect. It also means prosperity, glory, success. She is the consort of Vishnu. She is said to be Purusakara, an interceder, according to visistadvaita Vedanta. It is often used as an honorific prefix to the name of deities and holy personages to indicate holiness. Sri Sampradaya, the visistadvaita Vedanta system. Sri Vatsa, mark on Vishnu's body, signifying Lakshmi's presence. Mark of beauty. Sringara, feelings of exotic love. Sirasa, Shrotra, the ear, one of the 5 sense organs. Jnananjaya, Sarsti, creation, one of the 5 functions of Siva. Sarsti Vakya, creation text, according to Advaita Vedanta. These texts only allude to reality and do not teach creation per se. They explain how creation works only at the empirical level by employing the method of adhyaropa and apavada, prior superimposition and subsequent denial. These texts lead an aspirant from the known and familiar to the unknown and the unfamiliar to the absolute Brahman. Shrutahani, distortion of the text, giving up what is actually stated. Shrutajnana, scriptural knowledge. Shrutajnana, scriptural knowledge. This is a type of immediate knowledge according to Jainism. It is of 2 kinds. Angabhya, not incorporated in the 12 angas. The anga pravista, incorporated in 12 angas. It is objective cognition, may belong to the past, present, or future, and being the utterance of great ones. Apta vachana is pure and beyond change. It's authoritative knowledge whose validity is unchallengeable. It is knowledge derived from through words. It's divided into 4 classes of processes: integration, lavdi, consideration, bhavana, understanding, upayoga, and interpretation, nyaya. A unique feature of the Jaina theory of scriptural knowledge is that it is always preceded by perceptual knowledge, mati. The other school maintains that perceptual knowledge is basic to scriptural knowledge. Shrutarthapati, a type of postulation which helps to explain something that is heard. For example, the fact that the village from which Krishna hails is on the Yamuna can be understood only when the statement is interpreted as meaning that the village is situated on the banks of the river Yamuna. Siyarthapati Shruti is heard, revealed scripture, direct assertion, Veda. The Vedas are called the Shruti. They are the Hindu revelatory scripture, the divine word Veda, which is heard by the seer Rishi, constitutes the immemorial truth. See Angatva Bodhaka Pramana. It is divided into Beta and Abeta Shruti. Shruti Aneka, diversity of scriptural statements according to Advaita Vedanta. Any seeming contradictions which exist in one's mind in regard to absolute Brahma are removed by the study Sravana of the scriptures. Shruti Prasthana. The Upanishads are called by the Vedanta school because they are not only the summit, Siddhasa, the Vedas, but also part of it. The foundation or basis of revelatory scripture. See Prasthanatraya. Shruti Sapeksa, dependent upon scripture for authoritativeness. Shruti Siddhas, the summits of scripture. Upanishads are called the summit of the Veda. Stamba, to fix firmly, support, sustain, pillar, the support or ground, universe, pillar. Staya, stealing. Stala, an abode, place, the supreme reality in Vira saivism is a name for consciousness. Stala. According to Vira saivism, there are 6 states of consciousness. Ekya, after knowing the world as unreal, one shares the bliss of Siva. Sarana, one sees God. Linga, in oneself and everywhere. Prana Linga, renunciation of the ego. Rasadi, offering all objects of enjoyment to God. Mahesvarda, firm belief in the existence of God. And Bhakta, performing rituals, possessing devotion. The first 2 stages belong to Yoga Anga, the next two to Bhoga Anga, and the last 2 belong to Tyaga Anga. According to Veda Saivism, Stala or Siva divides into Linga and Anga. Linga is Siva and Rudra and is the object of worship or adoration. Anga is the individual soul, the worshipper or adorer. Both Linga Stala and Anga Stala manifest in 6 forms. Sthana, position, proximity. Angatva, Bodhaka, Pramana. Sthana, Stavara, are non-moving bodies. Immovable, stationary. There are said to be of 4 kinds: stones, sila, shrubs, gulma trees, vrksha, and creepers, latha. Staviravada, Si Theravada, Sthaibhavas, essence of emotion, forming the content of a work of an art, and emotion located in the appreciator of a work of art. According to Indian aesthetics, it is the material causes rasa, sivrasa. Such emotions are fit for representation as the theme of a work because these basic emotions may be assumed to be present in the responding spectator. There are 9 basic emotions: love, rati, mirth, hasa, sorrow, soka, anger, krodha, fortitude, utsaha, fear, bhaya, disgust, jugupsa, wonder, vismaya, and kana, sama. Stita prajna, one who is established in the divine consciousness, from the verb root sta, to stand, pra, before, jna, to know. One who is unmoved by agitated feelings and emotions, whether good or bad, pleasurable or painful, who is neither elated by joy nor depressed by sorrow, and is stable in the knowledge of and awareness of the reality. Sthiti, a state, condition, preservation, maintenance, from the verb root sta, to stand. Sthita stapaka, elasticity, samskara. Stula, gross material. Stula cheat, physical consciousness. Stula sarira, gross body, physical body. According to Sankhya, it is constituted of the 25 elemental principles, the 5 jnanendrayas, the organ of hearing, touch, sight, taste, and smell, the 5 karmendayas, the organs of speech, prehension, movement, excretion, and generation, the 5 tanmatras, the subtle essence of the elements of sound, touch, sight, taste, and smell, the 5 mahabhutas, ether, air, fire, water, and earth, and the 5 vital airs, prana, apana, samana, udana, and vyana. Sisarira stotra, hymn in praise of God. Strotapana, Pali term, one in the stream of perfection, is a stage of Buddhist aspirant on the path to perfection. Stupa, a religious monument shaped like a dome or pillar. Suba, auspicious and good, from the verb root su, to shine, to be auspicious. Sudha, pure, from the verb root su, to purify. Sudadvan, perfect, a pure white, according to Kashmir saivism, is the name for the pure creation. Sudadvaita, not pure, non-duality. The name of Vallabha school of Vedanta. Suddha Avasta, pure state. Suddhadvaita, Suddhadvaita. According to Suddha Avasta, pure state. According to Saiva Siddhanta, is a state when an individual enters into a non-dual union with Siva. It is twofold: liberated while living, Jiva Mukti, and supreme liberation, Hara Mukti. Sudabhava, purity in motion. Sudajiva, perfect individual soul. According to Jainism, pure individual. See Jiva, Suddha Jiva, perfect individual soul. Suddha Maya, Siva is pure power, Maya. According to Saiva Siddhanta, God's power, Maya, is twofold, pure and impure. Pure Maya is Maya in its primal state. It gives rise to 5 pure principles. Suddha Nischaya, knowledge of the thing in a particular context. See Nyaya Nischaya. Suddha Sattva, pure matter, according to visistadvaita, is a self-luminous, immaterial, spare substance, which is unconnected with the 3 qualities, guna. It is infinite in the higher regions and finite in the lower regions. It is the matter out of which the bodies of God as far eternals and liberated individuals are made. See Nitya Vibhuti. Suddha Maya, pure and impure creation according to Saiva Siddhanta. The space-time universe evolved from here. It is an impure in creation and it is directed by the lesser divinities. It evolves in a particular kala. Knowledge, vidya, desire, raga, individual soul, purusa, and matter, maya. These elements, tattva, cause enjoyment for the individual soul. They are also called mishra tattvas. Suddha vidya, pure knowledge. It is a category in Sirkanta's philosophy. Suddha, inexplicable. Suddha jaya, supreme invincibility, meditation. See bodhisattva, sukha, pleasant, happy, agreeable. From su, good, fine, ka, state. Sukla, bright. Sukshma, chit, subtle sentience, subtle consciousness. According to Saiva Siddhanta, God needs neither support nor experience to understand. Sukshma Indraya, subtle sense organs. It is a name for the mind, manas. Sukshma Sarira, subtle body. The sheaths of vital layers, prana, mind, manas, and knowledge, vijnana, constitute the subtle body. They are called the pranamaya kosha, manomaya kosha, and vijnana maya kosha. The subtle body consists of the internal organs, buddhi, ahankara, and manas, the organs of knowledge, jnanendraya, the organs of action, karmendraya, and the 5 vital layers. Prana is also called the linga sarira, or the astral body. See kosha and sarira. Sukta, vedikam, sunya, the void, non-being, non-existence, negation, emptiness, 0, from the verb root suva, svi, and which is to swell. According to madhyamika Buddhism, there is no reality or non-reality. All is sunya, void, empty, as all realities are disclaimed. Thus, whatever is not describable by any concept, being devoid of any phenomenal characteristic. Void, or the indescribable, is the real nature of things. Sunya, the void, non-being, non-existence. Emptiness, sva, svi. Sunya, the void, sunyata, voidness, emptiness, sunyata. According to Buddhism, it is a suchness of existence, sunyata. Sunyavada, theory of the void, madhyamika, surda, divine being, surda, intoxicating drink, surdya, sun, from su to prasa, suska, yukti, dry reasoning, susumna, central nerve, the principal nerve. See nadi, the central, most important of all 72,000 nerve channels. Nadi, located in the center of the spinal column, extending from the base of the spine to the top of the head. The 6 vortices, chakra, are situated in the central channel, susumna, and it is through the susumna channel that the kundalini rises. Susupti, deep sleep, sleep without. Susupti, deep sleep, sleep without dream, the state of deep sleep consciousness. There are no objects present, neither of external things of the world, nor of internal ideas. Thus there is no apprehension of duality, though ignorance of vidyas that persist in a latent state. See avasta. Sutala, held, nothing pol jhana loka, the state of good matter wherein desire and passion rule. Sutra, aphorism, thread from the verb root sieve, to saw, an extremely condensed and cryptic statement requiring a commentary or explanation. Bhashya, to make it intelligible, the sacred thread worn by the members of the 3 higher castes. The basic text for our philosophical system consists of a set of aphorisms setting forth in an ordered manner the leading concepts and doctrines of the system concerned. These aphorisms are cryptic, are not expository statements, but aids to memory. Since they are brief, they tend themselves to divergent interpretations. Sutta Pitaka, the basket of sermons. This is the Buddhist scripture compiled by Ananda, which gives the sermons and parables of the Buddha. It is divided into 5 sections: Nikaya, Digha, Majjhima, Samyutta, Anguttara, Khuddaka, Svabhava, essential nature, integral nature, inherent property, the essential nature of one's nature. The nature of one's nature. The theory of self-nature, Svabhavavada, or naturalism, which holds that things are as their nature makes them. It acknowledges the universality of causation while tracing no changes to the thing itself to which it belongs. Everything is unique and is predetermined by that uniqueness. Everything is self-determined. What is to happen must happen whether one wills it or not. Svabhava Nirdesha. Svabhava Nirdesha, natural perceptual discrimination. See Nirdesha. Svadharma, one's own natural duty. It arises from one's obligations towards one's nature, class, social position, latent tendencies, place and time. See dharma. Svadhyaya, study scripture, self-study from sva, self, the verb root adi, to go over one of the religious observances of Patanjali's Raja Yoga, see Nayama, Svagata Beda, internal distinctions. For example, the difference between the leaves and flowers of a tree. Svaha, invocation that offerings to God, Deva, is offered, a mantra used when offering oblations to the sacrificial fire. Svalakshana, the bare particular and perception, according to both vaibhasika and sautrantika schools. What is perceived or postulated is the bare particular. Example given: blue, all the other elements, blueness, peacockness, etc., are added to the mind and are termed samanya lakshanas. Savami, Lord, owner, spiritual preceptor, teacher, spiritual guide, friend of Guru, Sva, own ourselves, Sva, one's own, Asmi, I am, thus the only independent one. And courtesy is a term applied to monks who have taken a vow to dedicate their lives to the pursuit of great inner self. In these cases, it has connotation of revered. See also Swami, Svanirvahaka, what is self-accomplished? Svanubhava, self-realization, self-experience. Svapna, dream, the dream state, is to be immersed in one's own self. The state of consciousness, called dream, is also known as prajna. See avasta, svaprakasha, self-revealing, self-luminous. Svardisika, self-evident. Svardisiki, pravarti, spontaneous volition. Svarga, heaven. Svarloka, heaven, a world of light and delight. See loka and tala. Svarloka, svarga, svarloka, svarta anumana, inference for one's own sake. An inference which is intended for the satisfaction of one's own reasoning. It consists of 3 propositions. The Buddhist, Jainas, and Naiyayikas all make this distinction. Svarta anumana. Svarta numana, inference for one's own sake. Svarupa, natural form, actual or essential nature, essence from sva, own self. Rupa, form, shape, figure. Svarupa beda, non-relational proposition, identity statement, according to Advaita Vedanta. Examples of this type of proposition include Soyam Devadatta, this is that Devadatta, or the Mahavakya Tvam Asi. One of the 2 types of Vakyartas. This type is non-relational sense in that the 2 entities referred to are actually identical. See Vakyarta. Svarupa Anupapati, the untenability of the nature of avidya. One of the 7 untenabilities pointed out by Ramanuja in his criticism of Advaita Vedanta concepts of ignorance, avidya. See Sapta Vida Anupapati, Svarupa Dharma, essential attributes of a substance. Svarupekya, absolute identity. Svarupa Jnana, knowledge which is of the nature of the self, Atman, according to Advaita Vedanta, it is another name for the absolute Brahman. Advaita makes a distinction between Svarupa Jnana, which is absolute Brahman, and Vritti Jnana, which is a cognition or knowledge through a mental mode. Svarupa Jnana is not opposed to ignorance of vidya, while Vritti Jnana is the type of modal knowledge through which Brahma is apprehended. It's called Akhandakara Vritti Jnana. Svarupa Lakshana. Svarupa Lakshana. Essential nature, inseparable essence. The essential nature of a thing lasts as long as it persists. Thus, its essential nature distinguishes it from all other things. It is a definition by essence. It defines a thing without the implication of the differentiation entering into the constitution. According to Advaita Vedanta, existence, knowledge, and bliss, Sat, Chit, and Ananda, are the essential nature of absolute Brahman. However, it should be noted that the essential nature of absolute Brahman, as defined by Advaita, is it's interpreted only negatively. See Tatasta Laksana. Svarupa Nirupaka Dharma. Svarupa Nirupaka Dharma, eternal qualities which describe the Lord. According to Visistadvaita Vedanta, these qualities are said to be the Lord's essential nature. They are truth, Satyatva, knowledge, Jnanatva, and bliss, Anandatva. Svarupa Sambandha. Svarupa Sambandha, self-relation. According to Nyaya, self-relations are of two types: those which limit occupancy, Vritti, Nayamaka, and those which do not limit occupancy, Vritti, Anayamaka. Svarupasida, unestablished in respect of itself, a type of unestablished reason, hetu, and an inferential process is then forgiven. Sound is a quality because it is visible, like a color. Visibility cannot be predicated of sound which is only audible. Asida and Hetvabhasa, Svarupa Stiti, remaining in one's own natural condition. Svarupa Travidya, the three forms of the self, according to Advaita Vedanta. There are three types of individual souls: Mukti Yogya, pure Sattva, predominant individuals fit for release; Nitya, Samsari, inactive; Rajas, predominant individuals who are ever within the cycle of birth and death; and Tama Yogya, lethargic; Tamas, predominant individuals or evil beings. The second and third types of individuals cannot ever obtain liberation. Svarupa Upadi Pratibimba. Svarupa Upadi Pratibimba. The soul, Jiva, is a reflection through its own nature, functioning as the reflecting medium. According to Advaita Vedanta, this is a concept regarding individual soul. Svarupa Vishesa. Svarupa Vishesa, special natural forms. Svasankalpa Sahakarta Karmakarta. Svahankalpa Sahakarta Karmakarta. Bodies made by one's own will. It is said that yogins possess the power to make such bodies. Svasida, self-established. Svasdi, successful fortune. Svasti, success, fortune, well-being. From Su, well, Astu, maybe. Svastu is a term of salutation indicating hail or health, or may it be well with you. Svastika, sign of auspiciousness. Svata Nirgranthas, formless in itself. Svata Pramanyavada, Svata Pramanyavada. A theory of intrinsic validity, the theory that the validity of knowledge is present in the material that creates the object, and that the awareness of this validity arises spontaneously with that knowledge itself. Siddhanta Pramanyavada. Sankhya holds that validity and invalidity are intrinsic to knowledge. Mimamsa and Advaita Vedanta hold that validity is intrinsic, but that invalidity is extrinsic to knowledge. See Prama. Svata Siddha, self-established, self-luminous. Svatantra, independent, free, absolute freedom from Sva, own, plus Tatra equals rule. Svatantra Tattva, an independent real. According to Advaita Vedanta, God, Brahma, is an independent real. Svatantra Triya, Vada, Svata, Sriya Vada, theory of self-dependence or sovereignty, the unique and chief doctrine of Kashmir saivism. It proclaims that Siva's will is responsible for all manifestations. The supreme reality manifests all from itself, in itself, and by itself, as it is self-dependent. Svatastva, Svatastva, intrinsicality. Svatastva, Svatansyavada. Svatastva, intrinsicality. Svatograhya, Svatograhya, intrinsically made out. Svatograhana, Svatograhana, intrinsic apprehension. Svatojanya, Svatojanya, intrinsically brought out. Svatovyavartaka, Svatovyavartaka, self-discriminating. Svatovyavarta, Svatovyavarta, self-differentiated. Svayambhu, Svayambhu, self-generated, being of itself, name for supreme being. Svayam Jyoti, Svayam Jyoti, self-luminous. Svayam Prakasa, Svayam Prakasa, self-luminous. Svayam Siddha, Svayam Siddha, self-accomplished, a type of perception. Independent of the senses and accomplished by yogic practice. See of Ardvatina Pratyaksa. Svecha, free will. Svedaja, Svedaja, sweat-born, bodies born of sweat. Karma karta. Svetambara, Svetambara, white-clad, one of the two principal Jaina sects. See Digambara, its adherents wear all white clothing. They are the most Catholic among the Jainas. Svetara Beta, Svetara Beta, different from the rest. Sveta Svatara Upanishad, the Upanishad of the sage Sveta Svatara. It belongs to the Taittiriya or Krishna Yajurveda. It contains a strong theistic vein. It mentions names like Hara, Rudra, Siva, and Bhagavan. Devotion is mentioned as a means of realizing the supreme. Swamin, Lord, master of one's own self. From Sva, equal one's own or independent. Asmi equals to be. A title given to renunciants, sannyasins, out of courtesy, since they are seriously pursuing their inherent divinity. Syad may be. Syadasti may be it is. See Syad Vada. Syadasti avaktavyam. Syadasti avaktavyam, maybe it is indescribable. Syadasti nasti, Syadasti nasti, maybe it is and it is not. Syadasti nasti avaktavyam, Syadasti nasti avaktavyam, avaktavyam, maybe it is not, and is indescribable. See Syad Vada. Syad avaktavyam, maybe it is indescribable. Syad nasti, maybe it is not. See Syad Vada. Syad nasti avaktavyam, Syad nasti avaktavyam, maybe it is not. Syad Vada, the theory, may be conditioned predication. As reality is a complex phenomena, according to the Jainas, no one simple proposition can express the nature of reality fully. Thus the term may be Syad, it is prefixed before 7 propositions, Saptabhangi, given each one a conditional point of view. Each proposition affirms something only in a relative point of view, and thus the definite Jaina point of view is that there is no one definite point of view of reality. All knowledge is relative, may be examined from the point of view of time, space, substance, and mode. A pot exists now from one point of view and does not exist at another time in the future from one point of view. Pot doesn't exist before it is made, and from another point of view it exists after it is made. This pot exists from the point of view of its substance, clay, its place, the present moment, and its mode, which is its particular shape. The pot does not exist from the point of view of another substance, say gold. To ignore the complexity of objects is to commit the fallacy of dogmatism, according to the jainas. The 7 propositions are syadasti, syadnasti, syadasti nasti, syadasti avaktavyam, syadnasti avaktavyam, syadasti nasti avaktavyam, and syadavaktavyam. Syama, it, the dark one, the name of Krishna, so called because of his dark blue complexion. Syanayaga, a type of Vedic ritual for bringing out a calamity to one's enemies. Syanayaga, a type of Vedic ritual for bringing about a calamity to one's enemies. Syanayaga, you come in handy. Syanayaga,